This is our Monday night farmers market that we host here at the greenhouses. And it's a proof of concept. This is more of an experiment to verify what the future of agriculture looks like. So what's the concept? The concept is, how do you have local and independent food sources? What do I mean by local and independent food sources? So what the future has in store for us is a fundamental change in agriculture. And I don't think people have caught on quite how impactful that's going to be. And I'll actually show that in a subsequent video. I'll show it in a way that you can't deny. It'll be very clear if I do that. But I'm just going to quote John Kerry from 2023. Look, let's not make this political. Whether you agree or don't agree with climate change related issues, the people with money and power, they see an expanding population and demands for lifestyles that increase carbon footprints to be a detriment for the future. What that means are things they're going to change. In the spring of 2023, what Kerry said, who's the climate czar, Biden's climate czar, is that carbon emissions account for 1/3, or agriculture accounts for 1/3 of overall climate emissions globally. That's not quite right. It's a little bit less than that, but regardless, he concluded with that statement saying that you can't go to a carbon neutral world without dealing with agriculture. And that should be a cue to everybody that if we're going to be carbon neutral by 2050, well, agriculture, 1/3 of the overall carbon emissions, will fundamentally change. Well, how will it change? What's a model that works? And I want to show you behind me, I wanted to get ahead of the curve on this. So it's another reason, there's several reasons. One is preparedness, but the other one is to define a policy and practice that has no carbon and still supplies local regions with food independence. And I think this is a model that can be transplanted into other locations. And what I mean by that is, in this case, so, I built, I guess but my wife certainly helped. We built 13,000 square feet of greenhouse space. And you have to do that with an extremely resilient design. Something that can withstand the high winds that we experience here, not to mention the extreme temperature fluctuations that we have. So by building it, then you grow your produce that your family needs, but you can open it up to the community. And the community pays half of what Walmart charges. So if Walmart charges, $2 for two tomatoes for $1 type thing, we'll offer them for 4 tomatoes for $1 or more. If you're going for bulk purchases, we do a bag for $5 type thing. Well, the reason, so what's going to happen is you have to go to a carbon neutral model for agriculture. And in this case, we have solar powered water delivery. You have no forced ventilation on these designs. You have a glazing that we selected that's particularly fitting for this climate. It's a 4-layer, 8mm polycarbonate that rejects 29% of the light and has an effective R value of 2.22. Now, the combination of these things allows us to have a sustainable crop, extending the growing season substantially. Now, a normal area that, outdoor garden, you just can't grow anything here. It's just too brutal. The climate's too brutal. So it's a proof of concept not only for the extreme climates like Wyoming, Montana, northern central Idaho, even parts of Canada, Russia, you name it. So it does establish viability in terms of those cold climates and being able to raise crops. But it also demonstrates that you can raise crops, be efficient, and have no carbon emissions. In fact, this model is carbon negative because we sequester more carbon in terms of our compost than we consume. So it definitely amortizes out to zero, even negative over time. There's obviously an upfront carbon cost for the construction. So it's kind of a fun event. We have a lot of people that hang out and look at stuff, and it's festive. Sometimes we have other stuff going on, and my son's at football practice tonight, but he's available for live music, and it's kind of fun. There's some fun stuff we can do. So I just wanted to show this as a model for the future. Zero carbon, local and independent food supplies that are not subject to supply chain interruptions, and we can maintain freedom and peace that way. And I'll go into a subsequent video. I'll do a react video to a recent TED Talk on the tipping point of climate change so you can understand what's coming. People don't have a clue as the tidal wave that's about ready to fall on us this decade. Anyway, we'll talk about that. But I wanted to show this to you as a concept for the future, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.